What's up, everybody? You guys might be watching, I think there's an ad maybe showing, but we're live. I don't think I've gone live on the channel in, man, maybe over a year. And actually in 2025, it was my intent to do like a monthly live, and then like 12 months passed. So, but here we are, guys. Woo! Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for those of you guys who are waiting right off the bat. How's it going, West Coast Sport Fishing 223? You got shook. How's it going, brother? I'm just gonna kind of wait a few minutes to kind of let people trickle in before we get into some stuff. We're just gonna hang out today. I want to show you guys. I just got a fresh batch of some Akuma stuff, so I want to show you. Oh, I'm gonna grab one thing. So it's still early, and it's 25. Let me grab something real quick. I forgot to grab it to prepare. I'll be back in 1 second. I think I'm mic'd up, so you guys can probably still hear me. Let's do a quick audio visual check. Addicted to fishing. What's up, brother? I appreciate all the comments for I think from the start of my channel, man. Probably 5 years, you've always been just positive in the comments and just sharing your wisdom and your experience and just sharing the stoke. So really appreciate you, man. All right, thanks, Big Lout Fishing, for that. Pokey Dad Fishes, how's it going? Good advice on Carpinteria. All right, sweet, man. Pretty cool fishery up there. And Surffish 42, what's up, NG? Mike in Hermosa, awesome. Hermosa, El Segundo. Good stuff. All right, we got 34 people, not bad, man. I haven't gone live in quite a while, so I appreciate you guys just coming in. I just wanted to check in with you guys and kind of just update you guys on the channel, but and then also just to hang out, share some gear, share some announcements, share the stoke. First and foremost, you guys should give a big shout out and thank you to Big Lout Fishing, my good friend Josh, and he's just been such an amazing friend. And if it wasn't for Big Lout Fishing, this live would not be happening. So 1,000%, 1,000%. We've been talking about doing a live for a few weeks now, actually, since the Baja series ended. It was his suggestion, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then a couple of weeks passed, and he knows how to nag me really, really well, me and my ADHD craziness. And so he's just been bugging me every week or so. Hey, what's going on with that live? And so yesterday evening, he texted, hey, so what's going on with that live? And I'm like, oh man, I'm about to go to Baja again this weekend for 4 or 5 days. And so if I didn't do it today, it wasn't gonna happen. So for a while. And so thank you, Josh, for always just your encouragement and love. And then also he's the moderator tonight. So appreciate that so much. And also just want to give a shout out to all of the BKF channel members. So if you didn't know, I do have a channel membership, and I don't like talking about it, even though my channel members are always bothering me because they want more of you to join. And we have an exclusive Discord that only channel members have access to, and we just share the stoke, ask questions. There's some people with years of experience, and there's people with that are new to the game, and we just kind of help each other out. So Discord's a small little awesome community of people, and they're always bothering me. Marco, a channel member, is always like, you need to talk about this and join. Josh has been telling me for years, so I'm doing it now, okay? We do have a little channel membership. I want to give a shout out to all the channel members who might be tuning in either now or hopping in a little bit. Thank you so much, you guys, for your support. And so if you guys want, would love for you guys to join, but 1,000% no pressure. And there are perks. There's several tiers, I think 3 tiers that I offer. But I would say don't necessarily join for the perks that I offer. I would love for you to join just if you're stoked with the channel and you want to support me and be a part of the community, then would love to have you there. So, but yeah, I think one of the perks that every tier gets is we do about 3 exclusive BKF surf fishing meetups. And we do one in San Diego, we do one in Orange County, and we do one in LA. And we're going to probably have the first one in April is what my goal is. And I might need Josh to bother me about setting that up. But chances are I think it's going to be either in LA or Orange County. San Diego will be later on in the year. So what's up, Peter86? Peter86 is slaying it in the Spotty Bowl down in San Diego and is also a channel member. So just want to thank you so much for your support. Blue Guy, I think that's Rolando. I haven't seen you in years, sir, but you're one of the very first people that I just met. And, you know, when I was just starting out, so always appreciate you seeing your comments on the videos. Surfish42, if you go in the video description of all my videos, including this one, there should be a link for channel membership. And again, no pressure, man. And yeah, so that, but if you did want to join, that's how you do it. This is going to be fun with Peter hanging out with Josh. It's been a long time. Oh, and I also forgot to, sorry, Josh, I'm going to talk about you this entire hour. I also forgot to mention that Josh moved to Austin, Texas last year. So he's not even in Southern California anymore. And he's still hassling me and keeping me accountable and just supporting me. And so, yeah, so that, I think that's just so crazy, dude. Hey, Augie boy, Baja was so cool. What's up from Virginia Beach? Sick. Demon Slayer, what's up, Benji from Oxnard? Awesome, dude. I love the fact that we're up and down the coast and we all get to share this time together. It's super, super cool. We got about 60 people hovering around 60 or so. So just really want to jump into, I think that's a good amount of people. Real Stay Bent Fishing. I know you collaborated with me on that post. And so I just love supporting just the next generation of content creators. And so glad I can help out. Hopefully it was helpful, but thank you for having me. So many questions. I'm going to be struggling here, okay? Mark, welcome to the show. Are you going to be at PCS show in Del Mar? I might show up for a day, but I'm not sure. Right now it's looking like I might skip the weekend. But if I do show up, it might be one day, possibly Friday or so. So want to show off a couple of, just show off some gear that I picked up from Akuma to start off the year. First off, this is the Tesoro lever drag. And I've been wanting this. Anthony has been talking this up, and Anthony's in the chat. So if you guys have seen any of my shop videos, the guy that actually knows what he's talking about and the guy that really carries all of our episodes, he's hanging out in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, but this is a jigging reel from Akuma that came out last year. And I've had my eyes on this. This is a 2000 Tesoro jigging reel 2000. And my goal is, well, I'm going to bottom fish with this too, but my goal is to actually catch a tuna this year with this. And so, and Anthony said that it's possible. So I'm going to try to do it. I got that paired up with, struggling here, struggling. The Tesoro jigging reel or jigging rod. And so this is the Tesoro jigging rod. And I'm going to pair this up together. And I just pulled these out of the bag just like 10 minutes ago. But this one is 6 foot 4 inches. It's a double XH, moderate fast. It's a jigging rod. It's rated to 100 to 250 pounds and 350 to 500 grams. Oh, shoot, that's heavy. Anthony, did I get too heavy of a... Is this too heavy for this reel? I think I was intending on getting the lighter one. Anyways, so that's that. I want to show it real quick. And then I picked up, this is the X series from Akuma. And so on the spinning side, we have the Akuma Inspira, and then we have the Rockaway SI that just came out. And then this is kind of the higher end option. Ooh, so smooth. I absolutely love this reel. And I just got this in the 4000 because all my reel, I literally have like 10 3000 size reels in my garage. And I just wanted to change it up. And I think maybe the larger spool and a little bit bigger profile, I want to see how I like it. I've always gone as light as possible, but I think this one comes in at like 8 ounces for the 4000 size. And I have to watch what I speak because Anthony's watching. But I think it's around 8 ounces for the 4000 size. And I got 30-pound braid on here. It's X braid, which is my braid of choice. So 4000, going to be giving that a spin. Anthony says I got the right one. Cool. 8.2 ounces. And cool. This is the Komodo 400. I already have one of these, but I picked up another one. The reason is for those of you that don't know, I've actually gone to Baja 3 times. And that one series was one trip. And the second trip didn't go so hot. It was really slow fishing, and it was just a couple of days that we went. And then we went again in January. And that one, we're going to be making a video. It's going to be chasing one fish for 5 days. So it's going to be one episode for all 5 days. But the story behind that is I was on the struggle bus a little bit and struggled a little bit. So I made an adjustment. This is going to be one of the adjustments. This is the Komodo 400. And what we spooled up here is 80-pound braid. So I think I put on J braid. I don't think they had X braid. So I just went with the J braid, 80-pound J braid. And I'm going to be fishing, and it's going to be my dedicated shallow water Cabiria setup. So with this reel, it's going to be the dedicated shallow water Cabiria. And so when we're chasing Cabiria in Baja, we're literally fishing like 3 to 5 feet of water, and it's a minefield underneath. It's literally all rocks. It's super, like, literally the fight will be over in like 20 seconds. Like, you should land the fish within 20 seconds. And the fight, whether you're going to land the fish or not, is determined in the first 2 seconds. And if you don't stop and turn the head of that Cabiria in the first 2 seconds, you're done. And I had so many failures with my gear because I was fishing 50-pound braid with like 50-pound fluoro. And I FO'd, man. And I found out, and it was painful on some pretty decent fish. So, but that episode will be coming sometime down the line. I want to make a SoCal fishing episode first because we're all in SoCal. And then I picked up some fluorocarbon from Opsin, and I got some 50-pound, I got some 60-pound, and I got some 80-pound. So I'm going to be using that with the Komodo 400. And if you guys haven't checked out Opsin and are curious, there is actually a code in my video description. I forget how many percent off, 15, 20, 25%, something like that. So if you want to check out Opsin, they've been so nice to me, so good to me. So just wanted to share the stoke. Opsin, thank you for your support for the last couple of years. Really appreciate it. And then lastly, Machaira 10, Mac 10. So I have a Mac 15 tall and the Machaira 16, and then I have an Aleos 5, which is a 30-pound setup. But this will be like the second 30-pound setup that I added, and it's 2-speed reel, and just wanted to add it. And it, like, dude, I'm kind of cutting back on my sport fishing a little bit. I'm not even going on any trips now, but I really wanted this reel, so I picked it up. So Machaira 10, and also I got a bunch of Mad Max, and this is just one example, but I loaded up on Mad Max, and we're going to be going down to Baja again this weekend. And if we do some I don't know what we're going to do, but I have a feeling we're going to chase some calicos. So I'll be throwing a lot of Mad Max for that. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. What do you think of the Daiwa Fuego LT 4000? It's about 8.5 ounces, and I'm going to pair it up with the Rockaway SP 10 foot. The Fuego is a great reel, and it's a really nice bang for buck reel. The only thing that I would say is that it has a anti-reverse switch on it. And so if you look at the X series, and if you look at the Inspira, and if you look at the Rockaway SI, they removed the switch. And I think that's such a huge thing. The Fuego LT has that switch, which is a huge water access point. There's nothing preventing water from getting in there if your reel has a switch. And so from the surf, it's like not the most highly recommended thing, because one dunk and sand and water are going to get in there. So, but other than that, like, yeah, fish what you love, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's really smooth and good reel for the price. Yeah, shock loads. Yeah, that's another thing. If you have a switch, you can just pack it up with grease, and that's definitely one way that you can safeguard it. So for sure. Yeah, for sure. The ITX CB, like that's why I don't talk about the ITX CB as much now, because I was so enamored with it when I got my hands on it. I love the reel; it's super smooth, and I love the drag system on it. I love the reel, and I still fish it. I still love it. I just don't talk about it as much because that switch. But yeah, if you pack it with grease, absolutely. What's up, Benji? What do you recommend to put on the Phoenix M1 Inshore 8.2? Just your, assuming it's a casting reel, I mean, the standards out there, obviously I'm partial to the Komodo and it's what I fish. And then on the Shimano side, I think there's a Tranx and Daiwa Alexa. I think those are the two options from those companies. But, you know, I fish what I fish and you guys should fish what you fish. Madio. I didn't say Madio, Anthony. I thought I said Madio. But also, guys, I have a code in the video description for, I think you order from Fish Lab. I think you can get like 25% or 20% off of all your Fish Lab orders too. So check out the video description for some decent prices. All right, let me go through some of these questions here. I appreciate you guys checking in. So before I get back to the other question, the other reason why I wanted to go live is because I came out with this Baja series. I haven't actually been fishing the SoCal surf all that much since I've been on this Baja kick. And I wanted to jump on here to assure everyone that I'm still fishing the SoCal surf and I have zero intention of not fishing the SoCal surf. It's just been a transition. I've been fishing hard, surf fishing Southern California hard for, I think, over 10 years, less than 10 years for the content. But I think I've been fishing the SoCal surf hard for, I think, at least 10 years now. And it's just been so invigorating for me to experience something different and something new. And so I am still going to be doing these Baja trips. I'm a hitchhiker on all these trips. So provided I have a ride down there and I'm available to go, I still would love to. I'm still planning on making some Baja trips throughout this year. But I just want to assure everyone, the Southern California content's coming. I am actually going to hit the surf tomorrow morning. And so hopefully we'll make a video out of that. We'll see how the bite is. But yeah, Southern California, surf fishing, halibut, croakers, corbina, perch, hopefully a sea bass this year. It's still happening. And it's still, I just want to assure everyone that it's very much my core content. And so we're still going to be doing that. I also wanted to update you guys on some video ideas that I've been kicking around in my head. I'm thinking about doing a Reading the Beach update for 2026, making a brand new Reading the Beach video. You guys seem to have really liked the first one that I did like 3 years ago. And so I think we might be ready for another one in 2026. And then kicking around the tires, I made a how to catch halibut video in 2025 and thinking about maybe doing a 2026 edition. Everyone wants to watch halibut being caught, hear about how halibut's being caught. So thinking about that. If you guys have any like tutorial or how-to type videos that you would love to see, please just let it know in the comments. I'll read all the comments later. And you know, if it's something we can do, then we'll try to make it happen. All right. Sahid or Sajid says, you're not missing much, Benji. I've gone 7 out of the last 10 days and it's been Skunk City save a few days. Oh man, I know you updated in the Discord and you're a new member, channel member. So welcome to the membership. I appreciate the update that you gave us a couple days ago. I want to say there's potentially reason for hope. When you skunked on Monday, we had really, really great conditions. The wave energy was perfect. I think you were out there like 7 hours and you weren't getting bit. The one thing that we had that we talked about in our Discord was the water temps dipped down to, I think, 58 on Monday. It jumped up on Tuesday. So as of today, even today, it jumped up to 60 degrees. So we have a two degree change higher. So I'm hoping that maybe stimulates things in the right direction. You know, so yeah, so we always got to be positive. We always got to be positive. Robert, great talk. Robert Grober, great talking to you at PCS. I don't remember your name or your face, but I'm sure I didn't have a bad interaction at PCS. So wonderful to meet you too. Thank you so much for saying hello and hanging out tonight. Real estate bent, the bite has been okay. The bass are definitely slow right now, but the bite should be warming up. Absolutely, guys. March is kind of the halibut kickoff. Spring, we had the time change. We can fish a little bit later now, and it's really, the story is that halibut are in the spring to spawn, which very well might be the case. I've never read a scientific study really validating that, but that's just what everyone has said. So that very well might be true. But also along with that is the first grunion run that we just had. So halibut season typically kicks off in March, and the springtime, March, April, May is kind of really like a good time to target halibut. And I also think that corresponds to, and this is just a theory, corresponds with the first grunion run that we just had, and then we start having them every 2 weeks. There's just a lot more bait in the water. So it's a good time to be grinding out there. And yeah, getting it. Let's see here. West Coast Sport Fishing, Akuma Rockaway SP 9-foot and the Akuma SI, is that a good combo? Yeah, we made that Rockaway SI for the Rockaway SP rods. So it's a perfect pairing. If you notice, they match, the colorways match. So it is absolutely a great setup. I would say maybe a 3000 would be a better fit for that 9-foot. But I think the 4000 would be okay too. All right. Augie Boy, I haven't really been fishing. When I first started, I was throwing the baitcaster around in the surf. I haven't done it a lot, but if I were to do it now, I would be throwing either my Komodo 200 or my Komodo 300, and I'd be pairing that up with the Guide Select swim bait rod. I can't remember the specs that might be best for it, but I would probably be throwing like Lucky Crafts in the 130 size with it. And so I'd probably be fishing the Guide Select swim bait rod with, that's rated 1 to 6 is probably what I throw. But I might be getting myself into trouble here if Anthony's still listening. Hopefully I didn't say something stupid with that. But I think that would probably be the thing I choose if I were to throw a baitcaster. Let's see here. 61 degrees is the magic number. Okay, I believe it. Benji, don't know any shops in the IE that do reel. Sorry, Antonio, I don't quite understand that do reel service. If anyone knows anything about the IE and reel service, you want to chime in because I'm not aware either. Blue Guy says when you make a video on reading the surf, I think that's maybe you're asking a question. I want to. Those tutorial videos, like reading the surf videos, believe it or not, it takes an incredible amount of time and planning to actually get the footage that I want, and then scripting it out, and then doing the voiceover, and then getting the right B-roll to lay it out so that it's something that you guys can understand. It's something that I want to do before summer hits. So I'm going to try to put my head down. Ep Riley 891, what were the weather apps you recommend again for surf fishing? The two ones that I'm using primarily right now is Surfline. Surfline is a paid app. I think there's some limited free functionality with it. I pay for mine because this is what I do, so it's worth it because it has the surf cams. I think it's like 120 bucks a year, but I do love having the surf cams because you can read the conditions, but sometimes what you see with your eyes is number one, might differ from what you think you're seeing in the condition chart. And then also it's just good to see with your eyes how the water is. So I like Surfline. And then I also use surf/forecast.com. And that one is very, very helpful too. I like Surfline because I think Surf Forecast, I'm not sure if they show the water temps on that, which is pretty important. And then Surfline, the one thing is the KJ's wave energies differ from Surfline to Surf Forecast. So that's something to know. Surfline, for whatever reason, the wave energy seems to be half the size of what's reported on Surf Forecast. And the wave energy on Surf Forecast is what, like, if it's 100 on Surf Forecast, my brain is trained to see the water what I think 100 is, as opposed to if I see 100 on Surfline, it will actually be like 200, if that makes any sense. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Oh, and then also there's another channel member, Caden, who's been working really hard on a condition app for the surf. I think it's called Waves and Waders. It's not an app, it's a website. And so if someone in the channel knows, he just launched it. And so you guys might want to check that out. He's been putting a lot of hard work and we've been providing feedback for him. So that might be a good one to check out too. Oh, Big Loud's talking about that right now. Yeah. Cool. Surf, let's ask some other questions here. I might be behind on this question, but just finished watching your Baja series. Loved it. Question is, did you guys get hassled at all by the authorities or federales? No. So Kevin, who I'm trying to get to come on and do a live with me one of these times so that we can talk about Baja. He's kind of my guide. He's been backpacking and off-roading and camping in Baja for 15 years. And he's super well-versed with doing this. We don't get hassled. I think the only times you get in trouble is if you look for trouble or, inadvertently too. But yeah, we don't take any drugs down. We don't take anything sketchy across the border. Everything's kind of by the book. We don't spend any time in the cities. So we pass right through TJ. Tijuana, yeah, dangerous if you're hanging out there. I think absolutely it could be dangerous. We pass through the cities. We might stop by San Felipe to eat tacos. But other than that, we don't really spend time in the major cities. We are really, really off grid. When we're camping, we're 2 to 3 hours off the main road. And so there's not really anything going on there. And Kevin has never had an issue in 15 years. So obviously, there's stories and, it can be fear inducing, but I kind of trust that experience. And so, yeah, I've never had an issue going down at all. And Kevin hasn't had any issues in 15 years. So, yeah, Mixie Fighter, how's everyone carrying the Lucky Crafts? Cali covers are good. I have Cali covers and they sent me some. So thank you to Cali covers. It's an option. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And yeah, so I still use those little plastic tubes that a lot of people still ask me about sometimes. And I got them from Michael's, but they no longer make them. So I bought out of Michael's like 5 years ago and I still have a few. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Any other questions, guys? It's about 27 minutes into it and just wanted to hang out today. Share the stoke. Oh, I know. Let's talk about this one next. I almost forgot. So I want to show you guys this tape. And this is really cool, man. This is the CCA Star tournament tape. All right. So CCA, they're an advocacy group, and I don't talk a whole lot about it because I try to keep they fight for our right to fish. And so I'm for that. And so, I don't talk a lot about it. I try to stay out of like political stuff or argument type stuff, but I do support what CCA is all about. And they do a tournament every year called the CCA California Star Tournament. You guys might want to check this out. So the way this tournament works, it's $40 to enter. And I think the tournament runs, Anthony would know because Anthony would know really well. But the Star Tournament runs, I think, like from May till August or September or something like that. And what you do is you can catch, there's qualified catches. So there's tuna, white sea bass, or yellowtail. And so the minimum length, if you catch tuna, yellowtail, and this is not for the surf, this is for surf, boats, anywhere, any body of water. Tuna, white sea bass, or yellowtail, 36-inch minimum. You put it on the measuring tape, and then once you register for the tournament, there's an app. And so you log your catch on the thing, and then you can do 2 of the same species per day. And anytime you log a qualified catch, you get an entry into a raffle, and there's monthly prizes, and then there's there's grand prizes at the end. So there's prizes throughout the year, and then there's huge bonanza grand prizes at the end based on, and every time you enter a qualified fish, you get an entry into the raffle prizes. And like the grand prize is like a boat. I think every year it's a boat. I didn't even look at the prizes. So you guys can look that up if you want. It's, I think, the first link outside of the StreamYard link I have where you can check out the tournament. And so there's tuna, yellowtail, tuna, white sea bass, yellowtail. There's California halibut at 28 inches. So if you catch a halibut from the surf, that's 28 inches, or from the sport boats, if you're island fishing, you can make an entry. And then there's Chinook salmon at 26 inches. There's calico bass and sand bass, 18 inches. Calico bass and sand bass. And you can, if you're paddleboarding on your kayak, anything, that all counts. There's spotted bay bass at 15 inches. Spotted bay bass. And then this is why I want to talk to you guys about it. This is a brand new entry this year. Bro, they added surf perch for 9 inches, man. Surf perch for 9 inches. So can you imagine how many entries you can get into this Star tournament? And you don't get bonus entry points for a tuna. A tuna entry and a surf perch entry is exactly the same. So I'm imagining that a lot of you guys that are watching this are surf fishermen. So if you're in the Central Coast or like Santa Barbara, up there, dude, you can log 2 surf perch, 9-inch surf perch like that every day. You can do 14 entries a week of surf perch, and you'd be loading up the raffle and putting yourself in position to possibly win a boat at the end of the tournament. So kind of a no-brainer, guys. And then you get this measuring tape for entering the tournament too. So if you guys want to check out that tournament, use my link in the video description, and you can enter the tournament. I paid for it. I paid for my membership to CCA and paid for the tournament. The membership's $40, and then the tournament's $40. So I paid $80 at the PCS show. So I'm all logged in and yeah, going to be doing that, right? Shock loads. Oh, sorry. This is the second time you're asking, so I'm so sorry for not answering it earlier. Any experience throwing an A-Reg in calm surf? I haven't, but it's on my list to do. I've actually never thrown the A-Rig, and I also know that it's a highly effective thing. I just haven't done it. So maybe this year, I don't know. We'll have to see. But the A-Rig is highly effective. I would be afraid, given the fact that I fish heavy structure, I would be pretty afraid, of losing an A-Rig with all those swim baits on it. But yeah, have you? I don't know if I don't know how many people throw A-Rigs from the surf, but I think it would get bit for sure. Yeah. Yeah, people in Pismo foaming at the mouth, pretty much. Yeah, shock loads. Yeah, dude, it's effective in the harbors and bays, for sure. So yeah, but yeah, so this week, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, just some channel updates. I am still fishing the SoCal surf. I'm going to be going out tomorrow, and so hopefully there'll be a video coming soon. Hopefully we can catch some fish tomorrow, and we'll be doing that. Tomorrow's setup, I'll be throwing, I already have it packed away in my car, but I'll be throwing the Rockaway SP 9-foot. And I think a lot of you guys picked that up at the PCS. I'll be pairing that up with the Rockaway SI on 30-pound braid. And I'll be throwing Lucky Crafts only tomorrow. So throwing the 110s, maybe some 115s, and then definitely some 130s. So we'll be doing that. All right. How's fishing for you guys? Some of you guys have been saying it's been slow. I've been a little bit out of touch with the Baja thing. I am leaving for Baja again on Friday, and we'll be doing 4 or 5 days. I think, yeah, we'll be going down there, and I don't even know the game plan yet. So I suspect that we'll be fishing. We're going to be fishing both sides, and I suspect we'll be going after some halibut and some calicos, maybe try to find some sea bass. And then I think we are going to do a little bit of time chasing some cabria. And so cabria is absolutely, it has my heart right now. It is like when you get a cabria to bite your jerkbait, and I love throwing the Lucky Craft 190s. The 190s are gigantic. But when they eat the 190, it is one of the most thrilling feelings that I can have as a fisherman. So I really, really love it. What's up, Wandering Ox? Hey, Julius, welcome to the show. Augie Boy, would you be willing to do a cost breakdown on a Baja trip? Yeah, it's actually really, really cheap. I would say the most expensive thing with that is gas. And so we go down in my friend Kevin's 4Runner, and I would say, and we drive a lot. I mean, we drive from the Pacific side to the Cortez side, sometimes back and forth. and we do a lot of driving. So gas comes out to about like $350 to $400 if you're really driving a lot. I would say anywhere from $300 to $400 is how much gas costs. And so that's probably the biggest expense. Food wise, it's super cheap. I think like Kevin will always do a Costco run and spend maybe $100, and that's enough. And we like 3 or 4 of us can eat off of that. And then he doesn't buy any protein. And the only protein we eat outside of eggs and maybe some like lunch meats, we don't buy any like steaks or anything like that. And we only eat fish. And so $100 for food that we divvy up 3 or 4 ways. Gas, we divvy up, 2 or 3 ways, depending on how many cars go down. And tacos. There's not really much else. That's one of the reasons why I love Baja too, because the fishing's amazing and super affordable. So, Blue Guy, why such heavy braid for SoCal on the surf? 30-pound to me is not too heavy. I run 20-pound on a lot of my reels. It's my preferred one. The Rockaway SI, when I spooled it up, they didn't have any 20-pound. So I just went with the 30-pound. And I use the X braid. I love it because it's so thin. It's thinner than most braids and it casts really well. Casting distance-wise, I don't really see too much of a difference between 20 and 30. I still can chuck that 30-pound out pretty good. I would say abrasion resistance, but I use 20 or 30, no problem. That's just what I've been doing. I know guys that use 10 to 15-pound braid. I've just never gone that low, and I am fishing heavy reefs a lot of times. So maybe I have it wrong. That's just how I do it. Hawaiian Custom 10 9-inch at PCS and Rockaway SI. Pohuka. Yeah, that'll play. Fish brain, yeah. West Coast Sport Fishing, yeah. I don't use fish brain. I just don't have anything good or bad to say about it. What up, Wandering Ox? Oceanside Coffee, welcome. What's up, Adam? Great to have you drop in. Thank you so much. He says, how much money do I have to pay to get you to restart the program? What program? I don't know what program. Oh, yeah, you can rewatch it. Sorry, Adam. Am I going to fish the rockfish opener? I think so. I think I have an overnight trip planned. I have to check in with my friend Ryan to see if I'm still on that trip, but I believe I said yes to it, and I believe that it's happening. We're going to be fishing the Pride, and I think we're going to do some island fishing. So I don't know when the rockfish season opener is, but if it is open, I think our trip is in May. So assuming it is, I would love to do that. Yeah. Wandering Ox. I know it's Alan. Hi, Alan. Hi, Pookie. Alan is another one of my Discord mods. I have 2 Discord mods for our channel membership with Alan and Josh, and they're both hanging out. And thank you so much because these guys are busy. It's 9:38 Texas time for Josh, and so he gets up super early for work. So I appreciate you again for doing that. I'm going back through some of these comments. West Coast Sport Fishing, you've caught a 13-inch surf perch. That's a really good one, man. Congratulations. And there's bigger ones out there too, even in SoCal. But 13 is pretty big for SoCal. But I think that 15 inches is a possibility in SoCal. Yeah. What are the questions you guys got? Let's talk fishing. Jeremy Made, I'm coming to Cali April 14th to 29th, ocean fishing. Awesome, man. Welcome to the Southern California fishery. We welcome you over here, and just have fun, man. It's a limited amount of time to figure things out, but there's fish to be caught for sure. Juju Cats, sorry if you already mentioned it. Will you have another meetup this year? Absolutely. We actually haven't had one yet, so I owe my channel members 3. And so the goal is to have the first one in April, but I haven't planned it yet. We're already on March 11th. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD that's undiagnosed, and I'm super procrastinating. If it wasn't for Josh and Alan and the people who kick my butt to get things in gear. But my goal is to have the first one in April. Yeah. West Coast Sport Fishing, are you ever going to try to catch bluefin tuna? Yeah, so yeah, I would love to catch one this year. I don't have any tuna trips planned yet, but I'm gonna do a wait and see type of thing and try to jump on a boat. It's kind of hard to jump on the really good boats like that. You kind of have to know way in advance. You kind of have to be chartered way in advance for the really, really popular boats. But I think once the bite picks up, I'll see if I can jump on a boat that might have opportunity, or if I get an invite, probably do it that way. I've caught my fair share, not a lot, but I've probably caught, I think 20 or 30 bluefin. I didn't catch any last year. I went on 2 trips and I struck out. But previous years, I think I've caught my fair share of bluefin and yellowfin. Not a lot, but I've caught a few. Yeah. Andres from Daiwa. What's up, brother? Yeah, so Andres I was on one of the trips on the Tomahawk last year. I think it was a 2-day trip, tuna trip, and I didn't catch a tuna with Andres. Got to meet Andres. So what's up, Andres? Good to see you, brother. Marino Gomez. Hey, dude, how did the seminar go? Was there on Saturday? Bummed I missed it. I think it went well, but it was a little odd. And I think everyone that was a part of the seminar would say that it was a little odd, but all things considered, I think it went really well. It was odd because, so I did a seminar at the PCS show, for those of you guys didn't know, but it was a surf fishing seminar, but it was kind of weird because it was kayaks, sea-doos, and surf fishing. So my friend Nam from Out Here Fishing, if you guys have seen the sea-doo videos where he does his catch and cooks on the sea-doo, so he was a part of the panel, I was a part of the panel, and then Dave Brown, he does a lot of kayak fishing, was the moderator. So it was kind of talking all 3 of those. So in 1 hour time, it was kind of hard to focus on one. So, but I feel like it flowed pretty well. And yeah, so thanks for asking about that. I appreciate it, Marino. Hey, Wet Bandits, thank you for checking in. Really appreciate it. Mark Brinneman, did you get your sponsorships with Akuma and Lucky Craft? Oh, I think you're saying, how did I? How did I? I didn't do anything. I fished really hard, and I worked on my content. I'm super shy. I don't reach out to many companies asking for sponsorships. And to be honest with you, it's not the most important thing to me. But it's cool when it's the right one. And now at this point, I try to be really choosy with the companies that I get to work with. And so I was just doing my thing. I was growing the channel and fishing as hard as I possibly could for as long as I possibly could. And Lucky Craft, it's kind of an unofficial sponsorship. I don't have any signed paperwork with them or anything like that. But I've become, I would say, good friends with the company and with the owner. And we just take it day by day, month by month, week by week, and we build it on relationships. And so that's Lucky Craft. And Akuma, yeah, they reached out to me and asked if I was interested. And they actually reached out to me 3 different times, and I said no the first 2 times. And then the 3rd time, I felt like the timing was right. And so I jumped on, and I'm super ecstatic for the relationship that I have at Akuma, and just very, very grateful. And it's all about the people. So yeah, so I don't send out emails. I don't reach out to companies too often. I think the only one that I can, I don't think I've ever initiated anything with companies that I help represent. I think every time they've reached out to me, asking if I was interested, and if the interest was mutual, then we went with it and kind of went from there. West Coast Sport Fishing PCS was awesome, but yes, odd. Yeah, it was a little weird. Vincent Whitley, sorry we couldn't set up and fishing the Vanden base last year. Now base is closed down for all fishing. I heard that Vandenberg is closed down right now. So that's definitely a goal of mine. I would love to fish Vandenberg one day. If anyone, well, I actually met someone at PCS that might be able to get me in. So we'll see if that happens once they open up. That would be dope. Orca 7966, yeah, it was still a fun time. Let's get back out. Oh yeah, Andres. We'll find him this year. Yeah, dude. For those of you guys don't know, if you guys haven't seen some of the headlines, It's looking like we're going to have El Nino-like conditions from the surf as well as offshore this year. Basically meaning there's warm water pushing into our coast. And water temps are way above average right now even. The SoCal surf, the water's we took a dip last week, but I think it's on the way back up. We're at like 60 degrees in Orange County and El Segundo. I think it's like 61 or 62 in San Diego, but way above average. And I think we're heading towards a really warm summer, which means it might be really good for tuna. Maybe we'll see those Dorados show up again at the islands and offshore in our local waters. And warm water, it's a good thing. So hopefully we're in for a really, really good year. Justin says, hey, Benji, I'm fishing in SoCal for the first time this weekend, Huntington Beach specifically. Anything I should expect? So I have been studying conditions this week. So I do know that Saturday is probably condition-wise going to be your best bet. The KJs or the wave energy is going to be up and down the coast. So conditions-wise should be good. The water temps seem to be ticking back up, and it's crossed that 60-degree barrier, so that's good. I think it's been a little slow though, but I think for me, I try to be optimistic. So if it's really slow, I'm optimistic that the next time is going to be really good. So I think there's a possibility of this weekend popping off, 100%. Depending on where you're fishing Huntington Beach, whether that's south of the pier or north of the pier, it seems to fish better at a higher tide. And in my experience, I know people who like it at a low tide and do well. But personally, I like fishing Huntington Beach at like a 3 to 4 foot, maybe even a 5 foot high tide. And just look for dark spots in the water to keep it simple. Look for holes. And if you're throwing the Carolina rig, just make a couple of casts into what you think looks like structure. If you got like gulp camel worms or any like 2-inch swim baits, honey badger baits makes a good one. There's so many good local bait makers. Online Bait Express sells like those dried lug worms that seem to get bit pretty good. Live lug worms. If you can find sand crabs, maybe they're starting to make a showing. Just throw into those holes, and if you get bit within the first 3 casts, you found fish. If not, move on. I'm a very mobile fisherman. I don't like to hang out in one hole all day, which can be very productive too. It's just my style. So I think you should be expecting some good conditions though, Justin. Wet Bandits, I am not doing any seminars at Del Mar. There was the possibility of me doing one, but I think it didn't work out. So unfortunately, I won't be doing one down there, but that also means there must be a lot of good ones. So check out and support the guys that are doing seminars for sure. Roberto, did you ever use the Lucky Craft 125? I have thrown it like 3 different times, but I struggled with it. It is it's a longer lure. The 125 is longer than the 110, obviously. It throws pretty well. It casts pretty well. However, it's a little bit more of a finesse style. So I would recommend maybe going a little bit lighter on line. Definitely maybe like 20-pound braid, 15-pound braid, and maybe drop down to 12 to 15-pound fluorocarbon. And you are going to want some softer conditions. So from the surf, you can absolutely get bit, but you would want it to be calmer, which is not that different from the 110, but you're going to want calmer water to be able to swim that thing. And then likewise, I think it would be really effective from the bays and harbors. And I've heard guys, I've had several people tell me they've done really, really well with the 125. And the good thing about the 125 is I think you can find it for like $10. So really, really affordable. So compared to the 110. So it might be an option for you guys. Do you have any soft plastic recommendations for the drop shot rig for halibut? So many good ones. Kitex are kind of the, I would say Kitex are kind of the one that it's like kind of the mainstream swim bait. So you can definitely use the Kitex. There's, again, so many different good soft plastic companies. You guys feel free to drop down what you guys love that are watching to see what you guys love. And then I'll show you guys. Let me grab real quick. I think you guys can still hear me even though I'm away from the mic. And so I'm going to keep talking. I'm coming right back, guys. I feel like these Fish Lab products go under the radar. They're super affordable and they're well made. They're good products. And so you can use, these are, they're basically like Kitex. These are 4-inch soft swim baits from Fish Lab, and they don't break the bank. So you can use a paddle tail like that. Or another one, they just came out with this more recently. It's the darting swimmer. It's a fluke style. And I really like the skinny profile on these. But tons of different companies out there, guys. And it's just kind of personal preference and supporting the brands that you like. But White seems to do good on the drop shot. And so, yeah, White Fluke, West Coast, already on it. Good job, man. Banksy, how should I start a fishing channel? I could do a whole nother live, but I feel like people wouldn't be that interested in it. But I would say don't overthink it if you haven't started one. The road to your first 1,000 subscribers is challenging. You know, I remember for me when I started my channel, I really wanted to get my first 1,000. Like I couldn't, like it was so unfathomable that I could get 1,000 subscribers, and it took me like 10 months to get to 1,000. And I was stoked when I got it in 10 months. You know, so it's a grind. You're not gonna, if you want to do it just for fun, then just do it for fun. If you want to grow it and you want to have like a quote unquote successful YouTube channel, you got to be committed to it and you got to stay consistent. So you got to keep posting it. Mr. Beast says with YouTube video, with like YouTubers, when he's encouraging YouTubers, Mr. Beast says your first 100 videos are going to suck. And I'm talking long form. I'm not talking reels or shorts. He says, your first 100 videos are going to suck. So if someone asks me for help, he'll say, make 100 videos first, and then we can talk. So I would say just fish hard, have fun, and make a commitment if you want to grow a channel. If you want to just have fun, do it however you want. That's the beauty of YouTube. Daniel G, hey, it's Kevin G from Los Angeles. What about shark fishing? Does it interest you? I've done it once now, and if you guys saw my collaboration with Hey Skipper in, I think, September or October, we caught some leopard sharks. Does it interest me? Mildly, but not really. I don't think it'll really be my thing. And I do have like a friend, like my friend Tim. He catches giant sharks at night, but it's not really my style, really, like the bait and weight style. Obviously, pulling on a giant shark is super fun, but I've done leopard sharks once. It was actually remarkably easy to get bit. It was so easy. And obviously they have to be around, but the day we did it worked out really well. West Coast, I think I kind of addressed that with the other question, but let me know if you have any other questions other than that. Will, do you have a favorite surf to fish at between Long Beach and Newport for perch? Honestly, I fish Huntington State Beach a lot, and I'll fish south of the pier. And it's a long, I don't know how many towers it goes to, but I start at Tower 3 and I walk all the way up towards the pier. And there's just structure all along there. It tends to be a deep running front trough. And at a higher tide, you can just fish that trough and fish kind of the holes out there. But yeah, super, super fun. So, yeah, Long Beach to Newport. Yeah, I'd say Huntington State. Dog Beach is good too, but then you're dealing with the dogs. But Dog Beach can be pretty good. But it was kind of slower last year in general over there. But yeah, just explore, man. Like, yeah, you guys know me. I don't really talk about spots that much. I personally don't really, at this point in my career of fishing, SoCal, it's not that big a deal to me, but just out of respect for other anglers who are really dedicated to the craft, I kind of try not to emphasize spots too much. And I think it's fishing, not catching. And for me, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, the joy of fishing is the hunt, is really searching for them and trying to figure out my own way. That's how I like to fish. And so that's kind of how I teach too. So, Salian, great to meet you at PCS show, first day. I'm the dude that told you I'm starstruck. I'm just a normal dude, man, but I really, really appreciate the support and just the positive vibes. And hopefully those positive vibes can just be something that's mutual, you know? Like not everyone loves fishing. And so the ones that do love the game, we should stick together, you know? So appreciate that so much. JR, thanks for the content. Hope all is well. Oh, I appreciate all the comments that you've made over the years, JR. Thank you so much. It means a lot, man. Like you guys, like I've been doing this long enough now, and I'm not by any means big. I'm not, but we've grown to a certain place. And as you grow, negativity is part of it too. So I do get my fair share of, you know, trolls or mean people. And that's all part of the game. If I'm not willing to deal with that, I should stop doing this. But I'm a sensitive guy, and it does affect me when I see those comments. And if it's just unreasonable, just downright being mean, I'll just delete it and go on with my day because it's really not worth my time. But I have to think about this, you know, 99.999% of the comments on the videos and even in these live chats are so nice. And so you guys are my fuel, dude. So thank you for keeping it positive, and just really, really appreciate it so much. So, and JR, you've been commenting for years, man. So that blows my mind. Thank you so much. So many questions, guys. I appreciate it, guys. And so it's actually almost 8 o'clock. So I'm going to kind of get through these questions and try to cut it off because Josh needs to go to sleep, and he's modding the chat tonight. So, but Josh, I feel like everyone's been cool. So if you do need to jump off, I think, you know, the community here will take care of it. So thank you so much. But Max, you ever fish the Ventura County coast? I do. Not often, but I am. I think I found the areas that I like to fish. I'll put it like that. And I've had some good days in Ventura as well as Carpinteria and Santa Barbara. But yeah, I love fishing up there. It's a little bit less pressure and some really fun places to fish, and terrific striper fishery up there too. So love it. Mixed Fighter, I think you mentioned in a video somewhere that Josh uses Daiso glasses cases for his Lucky Crafts. Were they the clasp type cases or soft envelopes? So they were. So I think you're talking about Alan. So it's not Josh. It's definitely Alan. Alan has those Daiso cases for sure, and he has them labeled with what he has in there. It's the clasp. It's not the soft envelope, and it's actually a great idea. So if you go to a Daiso and see those, that can definitely be an option. Robert says Stars Memorial Day to Labor Day. Yeah, so you guys check out that Star tournament. If you guys want to sign up, use the link in the video description to sign yourself up. It's $40. No brainer. 9-inch perch. They actually asked me my recommendation for the size limit for the perch, and I think I said 12. And then I backtrack a little bit, and they were hedging on 10. I'm like, okay, 10 still might be kind of small, but like in SoCal, it's definitely possible to catch 10-inch perch, like with somewhat regularity. So I was like, yeah, maybe just go with 10, and they made it 9, dude. So, I mean, the amount of entries that you guys can get, even in SoCal, but Central Coast, forget about it, dude. Like, if someone doesn't win the grand prize from a surf perch being caught, I'd be surprised. You guys should sign up if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. Thang Nguyen, PCS is great if you can go on the first day. After that, everything is gone. That is a good point, Thang. With the PCS show, there are a lot of show specials and things. So if you want the hot items, going the first day is actually pretty advantageous because things sell out, man. Companies, especially with the promos, all the companies do terrific promos. The good promos, like Akuma, they're doing, if you get a Mac 15 tall or bigger, you get a free RailZilla rail rod. Like those are limited quantities. They don't bring like unlimited quantities of those free rods. So if you want to get in on some of those promos, like it's better to go the first couple of days to take advantage of it. Adam, Oside Coffee, just idle thoughts from a spotty guy. I rarely see vids of Akuma bass gear. A tackle breakdown with Anthony at one of the shops would be pretty sick. Anthony, I don't know if you're hanging out, but noted. I think there's some good options out there. Again, you guys know that I represent Akuma. I'm very proud to represent Akuma. At the end of the day, though, fish what you love, and I'm stoked with whatever you love to fish. You know, and I hope it never comes off any other way. And if it does come off another way, then it's my job to course correct because that's not my heart. So appreciate that, Adam. Sage. HB State's been feast or famine, but the hot days are hot. Gotcha. Yeah, so timing, it's just timing, right? You went out on Monday and it was prime conditions and it was famine. Go figure. How do we know, man? Like you can only know if you're out there casting. So my personal best halibut is 32 inches. 32 inches. That day I will never forget. I was sitting on the toilet doing my business at like 9 a.m. in the morning, maybe 9 or 10 in the morning. I had zero plans to fish that day. And it was in January. I think it was like the end of January. And my wife happened to be home from work that day. I was sitting on the can, scrolling my phone, and I was looking at the surf. I think I was looking at Surfline, and I looked at the wave energy, and I looked at the cams, and I'm like, dude, this looks pretty juicy. And I looked at the tides. It was going to be a negative tide at like 1 p.m. and it was like 10 a.m. I was sitting on the can, and I was like, babe, can I go fishing? And she's like, fine. And I went out that day, and that day was one of the best surf fishing days I've ever had in my life. You just never know unless you go, So, yeah. DJ Hoon, hey Benji, Dane here. Oh, Dane, what's up, brother? Haven't been out in a while and missed the past few group meetups. Life in the way, of course. Just want to say what's up and hope you're doing great, man. Hey, Dane, miss you, brother. I will never forget the meetup that you came to in El Segundo in LA. And he caught a legal white, not white. He did catch a white sea bass. He caught a juvenile white sea bass, but he caught a legal halibut that day. And it was a white hot bite, man. So many halibut were caught, and Dane got the only legal that day. So miss you, brother. But yeah, dude, life, I'm just a lousy YouTuber. But if I get to see you again, that'll be great, man. I hope you're well. West Coast, I think I talked about starting a fishing channel already before in the video, but if you're interested in starting a fishing channel, my recommendation is don't worry about the metrics. Don't worry about getting big, getting a lot of subscribers. I think I would say in the beginning, just fish hard and try to capture the content. And with the editing and posting content, if you want to grow, you have to be consistent. And with your editing process and shaping of your videos, try to get better 1% each time. And it's a long game. It's not a short game to grow on YouTube. It's a long game. The people who grow super, super fast, that's rare. It's the anomaly. It's not the norm. So that's what I would say. Sage says, saw little tiny 1/8 micro sand crabs washing. Oh, sand crabs are on the way. Duke, what's up, brother? Duke is one of the guys I've been to Baja before. And in January when we went, he's the one that let me hitchhike with him in his car. I'll always be grateful for your hospitality. I'd never met you before. And so thank you so much for doing that. And Duke inspired me in the January Baja trip. And I would not have caught the fish that I caught on that trip if it wasn't for his words of wisdom, which is, you got to believe. You got to believe, man. And that was his mantra. He said it over and over again. He's like, dude, you just never know, man. You just got to believe. And, on that January trip to Baja, it was slow. I was getting 3 to 5 bites a day, and I was fishing 8 to 10 hours a day, and I was getting 3 to 5 bites a day. And that mantra was just ringing in my ear the whole time. You got to believe. You got to believe. So thank you, Duke. All right. Mason, MSQ, how's the halibut bite? I haven't been out in a while. So in terms of I would only be BSing you. I am seeing halibut being caught on my social media feed, but as you guys know, social media is social media. So I'm sure they're biting. I know that during the Grunion run, there was some halibut caught. Adam in our Discord caught a legal during the night of a Grunion run. So they're out there, but whether they're, where they're stacked, I'm not sure. I'm going to be doing some hunting tomorrow, but yeah. I enjoy shark fishing a lot, but haven't caught a huge one. Time on the water, brother, Daniel. Time on the water. And no doubt that you'll be getting on them. Duke, do I believe you'll catch another PB this next Oh, man, he's doing it. He's Jediing my mind, dude. He's getting me in the mindset. Do I believe? Dude, my initial, I'm going to be honest. We're going this weekend. My initial thought was no. And that was like, I was hedging my bets. Like, oh, I just want to go and have a good time. No, we got to go and try to catch our next PB. So Duke, thank you. I'm going to try to do that. Anthony says, check out the Fish Lab Nature Series soft swim baits. Anthony, you might have been, taking a leak or something, but I did show these already. The Nature Series soft swim baits. This is the 3-inch. We have 4-inch ones, paddle tail, and we have the fluke style ones. What do they call it? The darting swimmer, the fluke style. So good stuff from Fish Lab, man. Definitely check them out. On a drop shot, I like the Gulp White Flukes. Yeah, Gulp's great. Roberto, I know you're a big fan of Akuma rods, but what's your opinion on Major Craft? I have the Major Craft Sienna 9'6" and the Sienna 8'. Appreciate the question, Roberto. I thank you so much for that. And to be honest, I've never fished a Major Craft rod. I've heard good things about them, and I know that there are people who love them. So I will trust what they say, but I don't have personal experience. So, Major Craft sounds like a great company. I don't have any personal experience with them, but I figure, if they've been around this long and, there's some good stuff out there. I'm not familiar with that rod either, so I apologize. Mark Rinneman, favorite video was you fly lining for Corvina, I think is what you're meaning with sand crab. Thank you so much. That's still actually to this date my favorite way to fish. So you can come, Char, no worries. Yeah. I'm in my kitchen, guys, and I'm trying to make it more informal. So my son's coming down grabbing some dinner. Inline web, any tips for starting a fishing channel? I think I've answered that 2 different times yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass that. You guys can look back. We're gonna go ahead and try to finish up the live here. It's 8:06. I wanted to go about an hour. You guys are filling up the comments and keeping me jibber jabbering, so thank you so much. Kenny Huerta, hello from Hobo Kenny. Hello, Kenny, welcome. Sage, more catch and cooks in the works this year, Benji. I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try to film catch and cooks in my Baja trip this weekend, and hopefully there'll be more of those. I'm gonna start filtering through these. That dude Joe, I just want to say thank you for being so passionate about surf fishing and getting people into it myself. I do this because I love fishing, and yeah, Joe, like I came to fishing, and it was my safe place. I was going through a real hard time in my life, really the hardest time professionally and emotionally, spiritually, in my early 30s, and literally I went to fishing as my safe place. And so I came from, I've shared in some of my podcasts and stuff, I actually spent 10 years as a pastor, and I have a Master of Divinity. I graduated from seminary. I thought that I was going to be doing religious work my whole life, and that's where I came from. And when that season of my life ended, it was incredibly, incredibly difficult, really, really challenging and hard. And I don't know, like I came to fishing because I remembered how much fun I had as a kid. And so that's why positivity is such an important part of the channel and my brand, because I think like I want to get away from the politics of every other. I mean, fishing has its own politics too, a lot of politics. Deeper you get into the industry, it's just like any other industry. But that's why I want to keep fishing what it is for many of us, which is fun, life-giving, pure, and take the ego out of it. My opinion is I want to catch a big halibut. I want to catch big fish in everything I do, with all my heart. And any decent fish I've ever caught was the result of hundreds of hours of failure. So I love catching big fish, but you know what? It's just a fish. And I know maybe some diehards might get mad at me for saying that, but there's so much ego and potential for ego in this sport too. Like, look how good I am. And for me, I'm like, no, let's keep that out. Let's be stoked for each other when we catch big fish. When we have a great day, let's be stoked for each other. Let's not get into that comparison game or whatever. Let's just do this for the love of it. So sorry for going on a little diatribe, Joe, but I think something about the way you commented that made me want to say that. So Ralph, always, it's just very simple, tight lines, the shaka, but you've been commenting on the channel for years and years too. And I've never met you. I don't know who you are, but you've been so supportive. Thank you so much. All right. Oh my gosh, there's so much. What the heck? Dude, I'm so far, I didn't realize I'm so far behind on the comments. So I'm going to try to close up shop here. I'll hang out as long as you guys want to hang out. How about that? All right. Josh, if you need to get out of here, get out of here. But thank you. You didn't need to do that, you dork. But thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Let's see. Akuma spotty video. Okay, this is multiple Akuma spotty videos. So let's try to figure this out, okay? Bethany Yoon, Benji, what's a fun fact about yourself? Dude, I'm a boring person, man. Fun fact? Dude, I don't even know. Fun fact. Okay, this one may be fun or maybe disgusting. But I have incredibly regular bowel movements, and I already talked about being on the toilet before I caught my 32-inch halibut. But all my buddies that I'm closer to know. Yeah, dude, I need to go to the bathroom regularly. So if I'm eating with you, chances are in the next 30 minutes, I need to find a bathroom. Halibut no see is not great. All right. Let me see where, oh, okay, we're getting there. Love your videos, bro, C-Mark. Thank you for all the info on how to get started into fishing. Oh, my daughter Amelia's on. Nice stream. I'm going to show my daughter. That's my daughter Amelia. Just hanging on. She's all grown up now. Every night I tuck her into sleep and I'm like, she's so big now. We need to crack the whip. All right. Man, Benji's so far. I'm sorry. I'm caught up now. I'm caught up. I skipped through some of them. What? Wait, but Josh, didn't you already? I'm so confused. You already gave 10. Why are you doing 20 now? What the heck? All right. Thank you, Big Loud Fishing. I really appreciate the support. Go to bed. I think we got you covered. Thank you so much. AB Carry On. Enjoy your videos. Appreciate your enthusiasm, and it really shows through your adventures. Thank you so much. Pescadillo. It was great meeting you at the PCS, and thank you for saying hello, and I hope you got some good footage. I think we did some interviews, so thank you so much for that. And wish you success. You're doing a great job. Pescarillo Fishing, you guys, check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of Mexico stuff. So if you want to check out some of his content, and then I think he does really well with gear videos, like buying gear. So just want to show you some love, brother. Check him out on YouTube. And thank you guys so much. All right. If you guys got any questions, I'm willing to hang out. I mean, we've been hovering at like 80 to 90 people, which is, I think, more than I've ever had in a live. Granted, it's been like over a year, but I'm really enjoying hanging out with you guys. Yeah, thank you so much. And if I don't get too many other questions, mixed fighter, trying to decide between a 20-pound or 30-pound braid on my Fuego 4000 with the Rockaway SP 10-foot. What would you use, and what leader strength would you pair it with? With the 4000 size reel, I would go personally with 30-pound, unless you want to spend a lot of money on braid. That 20-pound, I feel like, is going to be more line than you need, in my opinion. So the sizing of the reel, you want to appropriately spool it up with the appropriately sized braid. I think 4,000, and I don't know if Anthony's still hanging out here, but I feel like 20-pound might be a little thin for the 4,000. So personally, I'd go with 30-pound, but dealer's choice there. The amount of line that we get on our reels, guys, I mean, unless you will not get spooled by, like, knock on wood, you're not going to get spooled by a legal white sea bass. You're not going to get spooled by a legal halibut. You can get spooled by a giant shark, like a big leopard shark or a big ray. But in my experience, like the game fish that we're targeting, like, I haven't caught a ton of white sea bass, but I've caught a couple that are a little bit bigger. Yeah, they go on big, long boat rides. Obviously, if you hook into a 40-incher, yeah, maybe, but they do their long runs, but you can turn their head relatively easily. So, yeah, just wanted to throw that in there. But good stuff, man. We've been hanging out for an hour and 14 minutes. We're hovering at like 80 people. AB Karen, what's your PB for striper and halibut? Where did you land them? So striper is 30-inch, and that was in the Central Coast, is where I caught it. I'm not gonna like specify areas, but up towards I think Santa Barbara County is where I caught the 30-inch striper, and the halibut was a 32-inch halibut, and that was in South Orange County. Yeah. Oh wow. Thank you, Vital Potato. He's another channel member. The channel, like, you guys are channel members. You guys are already supporting the channel monthly, and you don't need to do that. But I want to thank you so much, Vital Potato, and I hope to meet you one day. I think we've had some good chats in our Discord. So thank you so much. I get overwhelmed by that. Really, really appreciate it. Vic Fishes, tips on catching white sea bass. From the surf is where I can add a little bit, but I would say that you can catch white sea bass the same places where you can catch halibut. So halibut is a little bit broader. You can catch halibut at literally every single beach in up and down the California coast through Santa Barbara. But I think the places that like a lot of the hardcore guys will target is reef-like structure where sand meets reef. So if you can find where sand meets reef, you can catch halibut, and then there's definitely the possibility of sea bass. The thing with sea bass is they're not always there. They are elusive, and when they're there, they're there. And if you catch one, come back every day until you stop catching them, because they don't hang out a long time. So, and I think, yeah, if you're using swim baits, white swim bait would be good. They definitely eat the Lucky Craft and other jerk baits. So it's really like a matter of being at the right place at the right time. And then I would say if you do catch one, I would say safely to say that when they are there, that's a place that they typically come back to, if that makes any sense. So it's just, you kind of got to build on your experience. John, thank you. Really appreciate the kind words. For stripers, braid to copolymer, fluoro, or monoliter, I will let someone else jump in on that. I'm not a striper expert by any means. I've caught a handful, almost always. A couple times I have targeted it, but almost always it's been a bycatch for me. And I'm just running 20 and 30 pound braid with 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon, and which is a little bit light. If you're going to NorCal, it's a whole different game. So yeah, so I'm a braid to fluoro guy when it comes to striped bass, but again, that's kind of goes in line with my game fish hunting with jerk baits. Enrique Oliveras, bro, where can I find a keeper SoCal halibut? Yeah, they're literally on every single beach. So Long Beach, definitely a good place to explore. They're all over Long Beach. They're all over Long Beach. Seal Beach, Bolsa Chica, Sunset Beach, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach. I think I just named every single beach. They're there. Along with that, look for river mouths and jetties. Any river mouth is going to hold halibut. So if you know of any river mouth, fish in the river mouth and fish around it. There's going to be halibut. Maybe not every single day, but I guarantee you they swim through there. So that would be my tip. All right. Trying to make it out to PCS, but been super slammed with work. Hoping to get out there this weekend. Absolutely, Vital Potato. Yeah, hopefully you get to do that. That dude, Joe, do I like jetties? I don't fish jetties. It's just not my thing. And I think it can be really, really fun and highly productive. I like walking. I like walking and covering structure and covering ground. I like to walk a mile or two for my sessions typically. So, but jetties, if that's your thing, I think can be highly productive and good. So, Wayo Bayo, you active on CSA or CSF at all anymore? I'm not in any of those groups, and I'm not affiliated with either of those groups. And some really great people in both of those groups. And yeah, so I've actually been off Facebook for like 5 years. So yeah, but I'm familiar with them, and I think that there's probably a lot of good stuff that happens in there. So nothing bad to say about either of them. Yeah. 10-4, I'm in NorCal and challenge myself to use Lightline. Yeah, NorCal's a different game, Carry On. Yeah, I have my good friend Victor is a dedicated striper fisherman up NorCal. I don't know the gear that he uses, but I know it's way heavier than mine, for sure. West Coast, will I ever do a kayak fishing video? Probably not. I've actually been on a kayak before, and I used to have a inflatable boat with an outboard on it, like a 3.5 HP Tohatsu motor on it. And I got rid of it. I actually gave it to Josh, so it's with him in Austin now. But I think I'm done with it. We'll see. Anything can change. It was just a little bit too much work, even with the inflatable. I just love throwing my stuff in the car and going to the sand. And if I'm gonna go on a boat, I like to go on someone else's boat. So that's kind of what I'm doing. When you come up to fish LA west-facing beaches with us, who knows? Maybe this year, let's stay in touch. Vincent Whitley, Fluoro mono 20 pounds of using 20-pound braid or higher in NorCal surf. So I'm not from NorCal, so I can't really speak to it. I would say it kind of depends on your style of fishing. I'm not a big mono guy. Like mono is great. But for what I do with the Lucky Craft, I prefer fluorocarbon because I prefer little to no stretch. Mono stretches. And just practically speaking, like having used mono with like the Lucky Craft, one issue that I have with mono when I'm throwing the Lucky Craft, if I get snagged, it's and I want to break it, it's really hard to break because it just keeps stretching. So that's just me. But from NorCal, I think it depends on your style. If you're sea rigging, if you're Carolina rigging for perch and stuff, I think mono is more than fine. And it's really dealer's choice there. Hi, Green Ranger. Will I be down in San Diego? There's a possibility that I may make it down for a day, but more than likely, it's looking like I'm going to be missing Del Mar this year. So yeah, I apologize. I would love to meet you guys down there, but that may or may not happen. All right, guys, we're going to try to wrap it up. I'm going to try to finish up through these last couple questions, and then we'll close it out. I appreciate those of you guys that have been hanging out this whole time. Kudos to you guys, man. I really, really appreciate it. But Uti, appreciate you, bro. Been trying to get on fish, been burning a couple hours in the mornings and evenings past few weeks in Malibu, been getting skunked, but I'm still trying. 100%. If you want to consistently get on fish, you got to be willing to go through these periods. The tough periods lead to the good periods. I 100% believe that a lot of people quit before they get to the good times. And that's fishing, man. There was a day, I don't know if Anthony's still hanging out here. There was a day, I think last year or 2 years ago, where I was going through I actually did a Central Coast trip. So I went up and fished the Central Coast for like 4 days, and it was tough. I don't think I caught more than like 5 perch total. So I was averaging like 1 perch a day, and I was literally fishing 10-hour days. Like I might be exaggerating, but it was something like that. It was really tough, and I came back and I was so down. And so I called Anthony on the phone. I'm like, hey, bro, can I ask you a question? And I was like, hey, can you tell me your worst fishing experience? I just needed a really good fisherman to tell me that they've had a hard day. And he has had hard days. And I just needed to hear that. We all have them. The best fishermen have bad days. And if any fisherman says they don't have bad days, they're lying. So just know that it's all part of the game. And please stick with it, man. Ben Costura, one of the OGs of the game and one of the OGs of the SoCal striper fishery. I know he keeps it down low, but I'm just going to say it. He's one of the OG striper guys down here in Southern California. A little bit more off radar, but you've always been so kind to me. And I just really appreciate you, Ben. Waybeo, thoughts on LC 110 bone color. Also, would you love to hear your thoughts on why you're a big fan of Superglow MSMKB? The bone color's a terrific option. It's a great color, and I think it's a needed color in the Lucky Craft lineup. That's my thoughts on that. Why I'm such a big fan of the MSMKB? Because when it came out, it was pretty and it caught me before the fish. And then I don't know if it's just coincidence or what, I caught a lot of fish on it. Some of my best fish were on the MKB. So, you know, I don't know if there's a scientific reason behind it, but I love the color profile of it, and I've just done really well with it. All right, I'm gonna skip through some of these a little bit. Anthony dropping knowledge. Gonna put that up there for a little bit. For those of you guys that are asking, thank you, Anthony, for sharing your wisdom. You don't need to be hanging out here, but I really appreciate it. Wayne, what's up, Wayne? I got to hang out with Wayne on our last Baja trip, and yeah, Wayne has been part of the mythical group of Baja fishermen. And are you going to fish the Sea of Cortez or Pacific side? I think we're going to do both, Wayne, but you know how it goes. I go where Kevin leads, man. All right, I'm going to skip through some of these. Oh, dude, sick. Thank you. That dude, Joe, we got a new member in the channel membership. So thank you so much for joining membership. Really appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. And I'm just gonna use Anthony. As long as Anthony comments all the wisdom, I don't need to say anything stupid. Yeah, I think it's the Alberto. It's Alberto or Albright. So one of those is like 7 wraps forward and 7 wraps back. And then one of them is you just go 10 wraps back. And I've been doing the 10 wraps back because I've just, going along with Anthony's wisdom is the best knot to tie is the one you tie the best. I seem to tie that one really, really well. So that's what I tie. All right. Oh, dude, so many different. Okay, Saeed says that's Alberto. Okay, thank you. I always get confused between Albright and Alberto. And then Bob, welcome. We're actually going to just sign off now. It's been an hour and a half. The goal was to end by 8, and it's almost 8:30. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Just want to let you guys know, SoCal surf fishing is alive and well. I'm going to be doing a lot of it, and more content coming. And just wanted to share the stoke and hang out with you guys. And it's been a beautiful evening. It's been really a fun time. So we'll do more lives if you guys like it, and we'll hang out again. But more than anything, just blessings to you guys. Keep it positive and treat each other well with kindness and love. And other than that, you guys, good evening and tight lines.